Hi, Bobby. How are you?
Hi, Rachel. How are you? Rachel, I wore the same t-shirt in the very first picture they ever took for me for SNL. I was in that t-shirt.
This is one of the best. I love it so much. But to start, I'm about to pull a reference out for you because I'm a UCB kid.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you doing Star Wars after I've seen you so many times on the George Lucas talk show has made me so happy. Given your history with just like being a Star Wars fan and everything, when you got the call to be, a Jedi, did your mind go to what Connor Ratliff as George Lucas would ask?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. No, my honest thought was, oh, I was when I got the call that I was doing it, I was in the room with this is my Jedi Bob that I had, and I looked at it and I was like, I've had that forever. I'm gonna play that guy. That's nuts. And my honestly, my like third thought was I'm getting closer and closer to getting Connor Ratliff a job in Star Wars. It's gonna happen. I keep every single time. Like, and also, if you need anybody, there's this guy. Yes, I keep trying. It's gonna happen.
When you're also kind of collecting franchises like Infinity Stones, which I think is very fun because you do have this is where my
It's
brain goes
like
every
the
time.
EGOT of nerddom.
Yeah,
I'd
because
like to know what that is.
in theory you
Star
kind of like
Wars.
Star Trek. I'm giving you that sketch from SNL where you were Spock's cousin.
I was on Star Trek. I was on
That's
Star
right.
Trek Lower Decks.
Great. So yeah, you got Star Trek, Star Wars.
Thank you
You
for remembering Spocko.
Spocko's one of my favorite things. But you're like slowly working your way up to like being that kind of cool nerd guy in our
Neo in the Matrix is my final goal.
yes, you're the new Neo. But when you are doing something like this that is like a very special kind of Star Wars nerd because the Lego Star Wars is kind of its own nerddom outside of the regular fandom.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hat on a hat. I love
Yeah,
it.
is that freeing to be like, yeah, it's like I'm doing two different fandoms at the same time, or are you even more nervous because you have two different kind of fan bases looking at you?
I wanted to do a good job. I was definitely nervous. I did Saturday Night Live for 9 years, live television for 9 years. And when I had to do the voiceover of a stormtrooper, I went like, oh gosh, I hope I get this right. And I got like flustered and nervous because I know the fans and I want to get it right. But also then you see or you realize like I came in early for a record one day and they were still recording Anthony Daniels. Like he was before me, he was doing his C3PO recording. And I was just sitting there watching him. And like he's played C3PO for what, 40 years? You know, what's it got to be now? 50 years almost. And just to see him having fun doing it in a new way, like seeing him go like, oh, this is fun. I've never gotten to do like bad C3PO before. Like it's just it was fun. It's so much fun to watch, and I can't believe I'm part of it.
Which is great for me though, because I hate C3PO. So bad C3PO.
How do you hate
I
C3PO?
don't know. It is like
I
I'm
mean, that's
given a Star Wars character to give I'm like C3PO's out. It's like a
that is
lifelong thing.
hilarious. I feel like C3PO and Bert from Sesame Street get the same treatment just because they're tall, thin, and like a little particular.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
I'd agree
I
with
get
that.
it. The Karens of the nerd universe.
And now the Disney umbrella.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you do get to work with some pretty like we have Abed Best back as Jar Jar. Mark
He's
Hamill is Luke Skywalker. You
not
have
familiar, but
Anthony,
I hear he's great.
but but you get like these characters that like most of us
Yes.
have kind of always wanted to
I get
interact
to fight Darth Jar Jar.
with.
What?
But you get to live everyone's dream of Jar Jar Binks
I
as a
have I have I've been lucky enough to be in some Star Wars things a lot. I think five or six like Star Wars cartoons and stuff like this.
Mhm.
Maybe some stuff that hasn't even come out yet. And uh uh and I can't believe like you dream of like, am I ever gonna have a lightsaber in my hand and battle someone? And never did I think it would be Darth Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar is the key to giving you a lightsaber
Yeah.
battle.
Absolutely insane.
But
If
when
you're
you
gonna
do
have one with him.
oh yeah, of course. But when you do have those kind of legacy characters, what it was there one that you were like, there is no way they're gonna put so and so in this show.
Oh, there's so many of those, and that's what I think all of it. I mean, like the best part of about this series is like, oh, they went there.
Hmm.
Like I love Darth Nubs. I really like um good like fancy Darth Maul. Like the opposite of Darth Maul in this world is like he's just like a gentleman with nice clothing style. That kills me. There's so many like fantastic little side jokes with all those characters in the background. It's the best.
When
I
you say
really like good guy Vader too. Like Vader's a good guy. He just wore black and he was messed up. He needed a therapist. That's all he needed.
that's what I always say about Star Wars is the Skywalker family just needs to go to therapy.
Yeah.
What's problems with
One
people?
not one therapist in the galaxy, not one.
That's gonna be the next Star Wars show. Is just like The Sopranos, but it is Darth Vader at
I
therapy.
think we just made $1 million franchise here.
I really did. But with with this show, it's so much fun to kind of look at Star Wars through this lens and have everything kind of shifted and thrown out of focus. Was like when we got to see that in the first episode, there's like a brief montage of like you see all these things shifting and changing in different planets. Was there one planet that you were like, but I really wish we could have gone there and I wanted to see what changed there?
Wow, that's a good one. I mean, like I always enjoyed Kashyyyk Wookiee Planet. I would like to see that. Did
That's
they?
the Wookiees are my favorite.
Oh yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
best.
Chewbacca's my
That's
favorite
probably
character.
where I would go. Oh, or just like anything Jabba's palace. I really enjoy.
I wanted to see how all the musicians
I,
changed.
I improvised at one point during this that Jedi Bob when he was younger. I insinuated that when he was younger he was kicked out of Max Rebo's band for stealing. Just because I thought it was weird and funny, and I like to put myself. And they were like, "You can't do that."
Jedi Bob cannot be part of
I was
Repo's.
like, "Why?" He could have been like, "Why not? Let's put him everywhere."
That I would 100% watch a whole
Yeah,
show about
yeah.
that band.
Me
For a
too.
last quick question, this is I just this show is so much fun, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing anymore with Star Wars is they just want to have some fun. And this show is very much is that. What are you most excited about fans getting to see now that the show is coming out?
Um, a great comedy version of Star Wars. It's hard to do. It's
Mm.
super hard to do, and I think Dan and Benji did it right. And I can't wait. It for me. It's that thing. I think Dan and Benji said this. They wanted this special to feel like we took a bunch of Star Wars Legos, we mixed them all up, and we're just playing with them and making them up. It's not canon. It's not, don't worry about that. It's not, we're not taking this as seriously as we take Star Wars. This is where you get to do Star Wars and be silly and stupid
Mm.
and fun and make dumb Lego jokes. And it's the best. And it's really
Um,
fun.
I love it so much. I can't wait for everyone to get to see it. And thank you so much for talking with me today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Have a great one.
Nice to meet you.